The unborn is the imperishable. That is the eternal and the immutable. Being immutable, it always is just as it is, unchanging. And for this, there is no duality, no other thing at any time. For the unborn, there is no creation. This is the reality. This is the nature of Bhagavan, the nature of the self, the nature of you. The knowledge that there is no second kind of self, no individualization of absolute being, is what is to be realized. The self is undifferentiated, non-individualized being, non-objective consciousness, causeless bliss. There is no other kind of nature to you. If it appears as if you are an individual endowed with form, such as the body, inquire into the nature of that very individualized existence. If you inquire deeply into it, to discern within yourself, who am I? What will be realized is just this absolute being, in which there has never been a trace of individuality. Ignorance, traced back to its source, proves non-existent. Likewise is it with the entirety of illusion. The unborn is the imperishable. Because today is the Maharshi's jayanthi, or birthday, we're celebrating with a different kind of satsang. The same truth, but a different kind of satsang. Really, he is unborn. If he were anything other than the unborn, would we be celebrating his birthday? Well, what would be the point in celebrating some event of an embodied individual? But we are celebrating that which is unborn, unembodied, which is not individualized. And because he is not born, he never perishes. So he is as much now as he was then, and likewise will be. That Bhagavan, or Maharshi, is purely the self, without a trace of the delusion of limitation. If he is the self, and there is only one self, multiplicity being a product of imagination based upon the misidentification with the body and such, then if he is the self, there is no room for you. So he is celebrating himself. What is being indicated by this? In the knowledge of Brahman, Brahman alone knows Brahman. In self-knowledge, the self alone knows itself. There is no second entity having the capacity to do so. Just as there is no second entity to know the self, there is likewise no second entity or ego to be ignorant of the self. The very idea of an ignorant or bound individual, of an embodied being, should be thoroughly inquired into. If such an inquiry is made, you find bodiless, formless being alone exists, and this alone knows itself, for being is simultaneously consciousness, and consciousness is the very substance of self-knowledge. What we'll do this morning is take up a few of the verses that appear in the supplement to the 40 verses on reality, verses that were composed by the Maharshi. As is usual here, if you have a question at any point, feel free to ask. Or if you wish to relate your own experience as we go along, feel free to speak. As you listen, inquire. As you inquire, know yourself as you are.